Today I'm going to be filming a book haul because I have accumulated so many books and I thought that I would show them because I know this channel is meant to be like art based, but I wanted to, I don't know, talk about my interests as well because I guess it is my channel and I can put whatever I want on it. Also, I don't know how to film a book haul. I've watched so many of them, but like I'm really bad at telling like the whole synopsis of the story. So I have 18 books to haul today, so hopefully I can get through them all really quickly, otherwise this video is going to be really long and I'm going to have a really hard time editing it. Let's get started. I'm going to be hauling the books in chronological order from when I first purchased them a few months ago to my most recent purchases. The first book is, I think this one's quite highly anticipated and I still haven't read it yet because it's kind of scaring me, but I feel like everyone has this book and everyone has it on their shelves, and it is Crescent City by Sarah J Maas. And if you can't tell by my shelf, I am a big Sarah J Maas fan. Well, I was. I don't know if I am now because I read these books in middle school and then she came out with this book, which is an adult fantasy, I'm pretty sure, and I was like, need it, because first of all, the cover is beautiful, and second of all, I think it's about fae. Yeah, it's about fae, and I love fairies, so I thought we'll buy it. But it's just really thick and it's also an adult book. I personally have never read an adult book yet. I mostly read young adult fantasy, so I don't know what it's gonna be like. Kind of scared. So this book follows the main character, Bryce Quinlan, and she's like a really fun girl. She loves to party and go out with her friends, and then something about murders happens. There's something with angels and she's asked to investigate these murders. So yeah, so she's investigating these murders and then she falls down a trail which might uncover secrets in her own past. So it sounds interesting. I'm interested and hopefully I get to reading this because I really don't want it to end up just sitting on my shelf like Kingdom of Ash did and still is. So the next book is a book that I've actually already read. I bought it and read it straight away because I knew that it was going to be something that I was really interested in. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4.5 stars on Goodreads, and if you want my handle it'll be up on the screen. And that book is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. This book follows the main character Elizabeth, and she's in kind of a world where there's a divide between sorcerers and, I guess, humans. Humans are taught that sorcerers are evil, especially in the library which Elizabeth grew up in, and she is training to be, well, she's an apprentice to be a warden in the library. And it's really interesting because the libraries hold these grimoires, which are the sorcerers' diaries and journals. These grimoires in the libraries can range from being quite harmless to being really reckless and can destroy cities because they transform into these massive monsters, and that is why it is important, I guess, to Elizabeth to become a warden. So one of the grimoires one night turns into one of the monsters, so it goes from its book form into a monster, and it basically fled the library. And so Elizabeth has gone to stop it, but she's caught up in kind of like a accusation that she has committed treason by letting this monster free, but she actually hasn't done anything. She meets a sorcerer named Nathaniel Thorne, and together they have to work out a mystery, a centuries old mystery about the grimoires and about the world that they live in, and solve the problem, I guess, that arises, but I'm not going to tell you because then I will be spoiling the book. I really love this book. It was super interesting, super fun. It just kept me wanting to read more and more and more, so I really recommend this book if you're interested in like magical vibes. And also, it's kind of an enemies to lovers story, and if you know me, you know I love an enemies to lovers trope in a novel. The next book is a classic that I'm pretty sure everyone knows, and that is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So this book basically follows the March sisters, Meg, Jo, Beth and Amy, and you follow their path through, I guess, a period in their lives where they discover how it is to grow up. I bought this book to build up my classics little mini stack, but also because I want to read it before I watch the movie. I just think it would be a little bit more helpful if I did that. So this next book was actually recommended to me by the cashier at the bookshop that I was shopping at, and he basically recommended it to me because I was reading Little Women, and it's basically about Old English, and that is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams. If I'm being completely honest, I have no idea what this is about. Yeah, it's something about the women's suffrage movement and how words have been taken out of the dictionary. It's based in 1901, so I love me a period piece, but yeah. that is this book. I honestly can't tell you anything else about it. I'll keep you updated if I read it and if I am interested in it. The next book is also a little period moment, and that is Pride and Prejudice and Zombies by Jane Austen and Seth Graham Smith. I saw the movie though, and I liked the movie. I think it's cool. I watched it a while ago though, so I have to revisit that and rehash my thoughts about the movie. It's just a play on Pride and Prejudice, and if you don't know what Pride and Prejudice is about, it's basically just a classic love story. I feel like everyone knows it. I don't really think I need to explain what Pride and Prejudice is. I just thought that this would be funny to read, and also I got it from the op shop, so it was cheap. The next book I also got from an op shop, and it is also a period piece because I love my history, and that is The Duchess by Amanda Foreman. I bought this book because I watched the movie with Keira Knightley in it, and I really liked it. I think I've watched the movie maybe 2 or 3 times. Georgina, who is the Duchess of Devonshire, and it is basically just going through her life becoming a duchess and everything that she has to deal with in her role, because if you don't know, being a duchess is kind of a big thing. The next book I have already read too, and I'm pretty sure it was an anticipated read by some people, and that is Kingdom of the Wicked by Kerry, I can't say her last name. I have tried Maniscalco. I have her books here. I have read Stalking Jack the Ripper and Hunting Prince Dracula, and I love them so much. I love Thomas Creswell. So the back of the book reads, 2 sisters, 1 murder, a quest for vengeance that will unleash hell itself. So the book is based around the idea of witches in an Italy setting, and it follows 2 twin sisters, Amelia and Vittoria, and one day Vittoria doesn't come home to Amelia at dinner, so Amelia's all, you know, where is my sister? And so she goes out and she discovers that she's dead. So she vows to find her sister's killer and seek vengeance upon them before the murder of her sister. Amelia also meets Wrath, which also the book follows kind of like a hell moment. So it follows like all the princes of hell, except we only get to meet one in this book, and that is Wrath. Wrath claims to be on Amelia's side, and obviously there's a little enemies to lovers trope, because you know I love that. It says, but when it comes to the wicked, nothing is as it seems. It's a really good book. I'm pretty sure I also rated this one 4.5 stars on my Goodreads. The next book is also an anticipated read from a lot of people, and some people love it, some people really hate it. So I was really hesitant to buy this one, but my bookstore was having a buy one get one half price. So I was like, you know what, might as well, because technically I'm getting it half price. And that is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Marin. One of my favorite booktubers, Read with Cindy, she murdered this book and said it was really horrible. So I thought, yay, I'll put myself through the horrors of this and see what it's like. Apparently it's a fantasy love story. I honestly don't know too much about it. The back reads, bound as one, a witch and a witch hunter to love, thrust together in holy matrimony, honor. There was only one way such a story could end or burn, a stake and a match. Some people really love it, some people really hate it, and I'm really interested to see where I fall. The next 2 books are part of the same series, and that is The Queen of Nothing and How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories by Holly Black. I bought these 2 books because I'm currently rereading the first book, The Cruel Prince, because I read it in 2019 and I can't remember a single thing that happened in the book. So I'm going to obviously finish reading that, then read the second book and just keep going throughout the series. The Queen of Nothing is the 3rd book in the Folk of Air series. I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy, I think. I just think they're really pretty as well. How the King of Elfhame Learned to Hate Stories is also illustrated by Ravina Cal, and the illustrations in this are so beautiful. The next book is actually a secondhand book that my grandpa gave me the other day because he was reading it, and then he said, I can't be bothered reading it anymore, and he said, well, Paris likes to read, so I'll give it to her, and that is Magician by Raymond E. Feist? I don't know. So this book is an epic fantasy, and I'm pretty sure it's an adult. Yep, so it's for readers 25 and over. I am 17, so I don't know how this is gonna go. I really can't tell you much about this book because I honestly don't know anything. It's talking about kingdoms and mysterious alien invaders. The next book is To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. So I'm pretty sure this book follows 2 characters and 2 perspectives because there are 2 different blurbs for each of the character stories. It follows Princess Lyra and Prince Elin, or island, I don't know. All about the ocean. So Princess Lyra has to go across the sea until she's cursed into humanity by the Sea Queen, and something about delivering the heart of an infamous siren killer or she will remain human forever. The prince is an heir to a really powerful kingdom, and he is in the ocean on his little boat, and he rescues a woman who promises to help him get rid of siren kind forever and destroy it, but he doesn't know if he can trust her. The next book I'm really excited about, and that is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This book is actually being turned into a Netflix adaptation, so I think that is super cool. Leigh Bardugo's books, I'm pretty sure they're all based in the same universe, which is called the Grishaverse. I don't really know how it works because I do have Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, but I have not read them because I don't know what order to read them in. So if you know what order to read them in, please let me know. I'm really confused, but I want to read Shadow and Bone before the Netflix adaptation comes out. This book follows the main character Alina Starkov, I think. She's a soldier and she is attacked while crossing the Shadowfold. I'm guessing that's kind of like a place in the universe, which unleashes monsters. And Alina finds that she has dormant magic that she didn't know she possesses. So now that she has found this magic, she's thrust into a world of lavish and royalty, and she has to fight beside the country's magical military elite. I think it's kind of like a story where the weight of the world is on her shoulders because she has this magical power and everyone's counting on her, and she has to harness it to, I guess, bring, what is it, a war-ravaged country together. So she unlocks secrets and makes dangerous discoveries, and it just sounds really interesting. I love me a badass woman who can fight her way through life. Also, the cover is really pretty too. The next book is another Holly Black book, and that is The Darkest Part of the Forest. This book follows two siblings, Hazel and Ben, who live in a town called Fairfold, and one day they stumble into the forest and find a sleeping fairy laying in the forest. Both of them dream of waking this fairy, and basically the book says what happens when your dreams come true, and be careful what you wish for because it's the darkest part of the forest. So that's all I know about this book. Sounds interesting, the cover's pretty, and yeah, that's it. The next book is also a Margaret Rogerson book, and that is An Enchantment of Ravens. It follows the main character Isabel, who is a portrait artist, and she has a dangerous set of clients which are the immortal fair folk. So one day she comes across a client who is the autumn prince of, I guess, the world that she's in, and she makes a detrimental mistake of painting his eyes in a mortal, sorrowful way. This makes him furious, and so he puts her on trial. Right as she's on trial, the nation is attacked, I'm pretty sure, and they have to depend upon each other for survival. And this forms into an alliance and trust and possibly even love, which I'm guessing that does happen. What force could Isabel's paintings conjure that is powerful enough to defy the ancient malice of the fairy courts? So again, it is about fairies and courts and kingdoms, and I love that kind of stuff, and not to mention the main character is an artist just like me. So this book is quite short too, so I feel like I will fly through this. The cover, once again, is so beautiful. I love the art. The next book was a little bit of an impulse buy for me because I honestly don't really know much about this book except that it's about Vikings, I'm pretty sure, and that book is Warrior of the Wild by Tricia Levenseller. I 100% butchered that. First of all, the cover, beautiful, gorgeous, show-stopping. So this book follows the main character Ransmere. She's 18 years old, and all of her life she has been training to become a warrior to lead her village. And on the day of her coming of age trial, I guess, she fails the test and her father banishes her to a realm of monsters where she has to fulfill an impossible quest. To win back her father's honor, she must kill one of the oppressive gods who seek tribute from each of the villagers or die trying. I'm quite interested to see how she kills a god. Also, I love women who fight and are like soldiers and warriors in books. I just think it's really cool. So yeah, I picked this one up too. This book is an anticipated read, I'm pretty sure, for a lot of people, and I think it's been out for a while, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemia. Once again, probably mispronounced the name. This book is about fairies, I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, and it follows two main characters, Prince Ren and Harper, who live in different worlds. Prince Ren is an heir to the throne of Emberfall and he is cursed. He's forced to repeat the autumn of his 18th year over and over, and he can only be freed if a girl truly falls in love with him. Then we follow Harper, whose life has never been easy. She lives in Washington, DC. Harper is sucked into Prince Ren's world and she discovers that it takes more than a broken curse to save Emberfall from utter ruin. The last book that I have to haul is a beloved book, and that is An Ember in the Ashes by Seba Tahir. The back reads, an orphan fighting for her family, a soldier searching for his freedom, a story burning to be told. This book follows the main character Leia? I don't know. Once again, sorry, can't pronounce anything, but she is living under the iron-fisted rule of the Martial Empire, and one day her brother is arrested in the dead of the night for treason and her loved ones slain. She must go and undercover as a slave at the Emperor's greatest military academy in exchange for assistance from those who claim they can save her brother from the execution. An Ember in the Ashes also follows another character called Elias, who is the finest soldier in the Empire, and even though being the finest soldier and the most skilled, he is also the most unwilling. He plans to desert the Empire completely, but before he does that, he's forced to participate in this contest which will decide the next emperor. These two characters meet each other and they find that their destinies collide. It's about them making choices which will change the future of the Empire forever. So those are all of the books that I have bought in the past few months. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed rambling on about these books. If you want more bookish content, just let me know and I will sort that out. But for now, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!